Britain is in need of major repair work. Things seem to be falling apart, quite literally. You see, the Big Ben stopped ticking for the second time this week. It also failed to sound its famous bong sound. And this failure comes after over $99 million was spent on refurbishing the clock. And the Britain Parliament is no better. Leaking pipes, faulty roofs and loose wiring. The clock is ticking on the Palace of Westminster. Is Britain facing a leak in its system? And where is all the money meant for repair work really going? UK's failing economy. We've been telling you about this. The protests against the coronation ceremony as well, and the controversial shenanigans of the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. But now things seem to be getting worse. Britain seems to be physically breaking down. Let's start with the moment time stood still in London. The great clock of Westminster, which houses the Big Ben, stopped ticking for the second time this week itself. The clock froze for 30 minutes on Wednesday. It showed the wrong time and even failed to deliver its iconic chime. Now, this might come as a shock, but this incident took place after a 5-year refurbishment work, which cost over $99 million. $99 million spent, and the clock still fails to chime. But the government has not failed to give a justification. A House of Commons spokesperson saying that they were aware of the problem and quickly rectified it. It seems like the repair work failed again. Although the clock's hands were moving forward, reports say the clock was still running 5 minutes behind. If this is not embarrassing enough, let's talk about the UK Parliament. And just like the country's failing economy, its Parliament building is also on the verge of falling apart. The very place where the most important decisions are taken. The seat of the British democracy is leaking and is at constant risk of fire. This is what the House of Commons Public Accounts Committee has to say. And why would the House of Commons say that? Because the Parliament houses leaking roofs, bursting pipes, and chunks of masonry that sometimes come crashing down. In fact, the mechanical and electrical systems were last updated in the 1940s. So what are the lawmakers doing about this? Officials are actually reluctant to green light an ambitious restoration plan. Some lawmakers are worried that it will face backlash from the public, especially amid a cost of living crisis in the country. And in response to this, the government says that although the cost of renewal is over $2.5 million, further delays will prove costly to the taxpayer. You see, lack of action does not mean value for money. And now that we know that some lawmakers are concerned about money, let's just talk about the things Britain loves to spend money on. Let's talk about the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, for example. The UK spent over $201 million on the funeral. Let's break it down for you. The Home Office had to give over $90 million. The Department for Culture, Media and Sport gave over $70 million. The Department for Transport chipped in over $3 million. The Foreign Office gave over $2.6 million. And the Ministry of Defence flushed out over $3.5 million. The government also paid over $22 million to Scotland for a slow hearse procession. Britain's economy and Parliament might be leaking, but it's definitely willing to flush money into royal events, even the coronation, of course. The crowning of the king, reports say that it cost over $124 million. Will the UK realize that it's not only its buildings that need repair work? Will Britain splurge some money on its dying parliament? We'll have to wait and watch. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.